So a question has come up this week, and also a circumstance we've dealt with a couple of times now. Thought it'd be great to get it out there. Can you switch on a non-lucrative visa? Can you switch from private healthcare to public healthcare on an S1 platform? For example, if you were 65, 64, 65 and you qualify when you're 66, 67 for your state pension, hence an S1, when you're actually here in Spain living, how do you go around getting rid of your private healthcare and actually using your S1 and not paying for private healthcare here? Well, the answer is yes, you can, and it's something that we've done on a couple of occasions now, but there are a few nuances and things that you have to be aware of. So, and it came up today actually with a client. We're doing some a timeline planning for a client today. They're going to get their state pension right at the back, if all goes well, right at the back end of their first year's residency coming into renewal, which means it's going to be really tight because they have to commit maybe to another year, because you have to give a cancellation period for your private healthcare, but then we can't guarantee how long it's going to take to register the S1. Okay, but sometimes you can get your S1 slightly earlier when they know that the pension is going to be dropping in. So it's all about the timing, as we always say, but let me try and explain how to get it right. Okay, so the first thing is, if you are going to switch from private healthcare to public healthcare, you normally do this on renewal, or basically when you're renewing your documents, instead of submitting private healthcare documents, you'll be submitting this document here, this document, which is called Documento acreditativo de derecho a assistencia sanitaria. So this document is what you receive once you have registered your S1 in Spain. It's very important to know you can't renew a non-lucrative visa just using the S1 document, because the S1 document is basically your permission to get healthcare here in Spain, and it basically says, yeah, UK Pensions Authority, we're going to pay for your healthcare here, but it's not the registration. So you haven't gone through a registration process. This document here, this is when it's been accepted by Spain and it has been registered. Okay, so that's very, very important to know. So that's the first point. The other point we're going to make is that if you are renewing your non-lucrative visa and you have given up your private healthcare, and you know that you're going to be able to get an S1 and you can register it in time to do your renewal, that you're careful about the warning you have to give your private healthcare company to cancel the policy. A lot of them have a minimum of 60 days. You have to notify them at least 60 days in advance that you're going to cancel the policy, or there could be penalties involved. Okay, so yeah, basically you can switch from a private healthcare policy to a S1 and get state healthcare. So there's a few points to make there. Let's just put it, as always, unstructured video. I'm just putting it out of my head. But I think the main points are, yes, you can. The second point is that to do so, you would have to have your S1 actually registered in Spain with your certificate that is registered. You can't just use the S1. And the third point is, be careful of the cancellation policy of your private healthcare. Remember that only if you're a married couple, only one member of the marriage needs to qualify for the S1, and the other party to the marriage can get an S1 as well. Talking about timelines, if you're in the period of renewal, you actually got quite a good timeline to do so. So we spoke about the timeline of being careful when you have to cancel your private healthcare policy. When you come to renew your non-lucrative visa, you have from 60 days before the expiry date up to 90 days after to submit the documents to renew. So if you know that you're going to be a state pensioner right at the beginning of that window, then you know you've got 5 months, and it'd be a good idea. Yeah, do you know what? It's a safe bet to say I can get rid of my healthcare, and by the time I get to that back end maybe of the renewal, I will be able to submit my derecho letter, as we call them, the right to get the healthcare. If you're going to get your S1 a month after your TIE has expired, I'd probably advise, I'm really sorry, but you're going to have to renew your healthcare for another year. Then get your S1. That gives you time to then register your S1. You'll then go to your healthcare centre. You can then register for your doctor on the public system. You may be lucky and be able to speak to the healthcare provider and say, look, I only need 6 months, but I very much doubt it. Most of them only sell a policy or want to renew a policy for a year. And I very much doubt if you cancel that policy halfway through the year, you'll get any money back, to be honest. So it's all about the timing. And the main thing is, though, is you don't leave yourself without any healthcare. I think one last point is that if you have been using private healthcare and you're making that transition into public healthcare, it's very different. So me personally and my family, we haven't had a problem with the public healthcare system. As always, you have good and bad experiences, but generally they've been very, very good. Public healthcare here in Spain, in my opinion, is generally very, very good. But then we speak Spanish, so we were very fortunate that I came here 23 years ago and I immediately lived with Spanish. My brain was a lot softer and took in the language a lot more quickly than it would do now. And so we immediately just default to Spanish when we're talking to doctors and stuff. It might be tough if you don't speak Spanish, so make sure that you have a translator with you. And if you are going to move on to a public healthcare system, go and check out the centres. And go and check out your doctors. You could just go in, just see where they are, see what's available. For example, here in Alaurín de la Torre, where we are, we have quite a very nice medical centre. It's quite openly available. It's not always that busy. I know when you go to Las Lagunas, for example, down near Fuengirola, Mijas Way, that they've got a huge centre there, but it's always madness. It might put you off. So definitely have a look, check around your centres and check what you're switching to. Is always a good idea, because on private healthcare, most of the time you get someone who speaks your language. In public healthcare, that might not be the case. So yeah, that's it. Can you switch? Yeah, we've had clients who have gone through the first year renewal, and instead of presenting their private healthcare to renew, they presented this letter here to say, I've now switched to the public healthcare system and it has been approved. For people who initially came in on an S1 and got approved on an S1, when you come to renew, you also need to present this document to prove that you actually registered that S1 in Spain. And it can't harm, although this document is the one that basically proves you've got your right to healthcare in Spain, if you've already gone through the process of getting your healthcare card from the public system, it can't harm in submitting that as well when you go for your renewal. So there we go. It's all about the timing. So remember, it's a 5-month window to renew. Yes, you can switch from private healthcare to an S1 as long as you completed the registration, and be careful of the cancellation period for your private healthcare policy. Right, thanks for watching. If you like the videos, please subscribe, and any comments or questions below, we'll try and answer the questions as well from the videos with more videos. Thanks for watching.